What's up, boys? Data782 back with episode 2 of Fixing the Franchise, Montreal Canadiens. Episode 1, we went through the simulation, got the season over with, made a few minor moves, trading off players like Carl Alsner, Jamie Benn, and these are the lines as they are right now, as we left them last time, and those are going to be changed in this video. There's some feedback in the last one from my friends Chris, another Chris, and Mikey, telling me some good stuff. A big point that was made was that with John Carlson now on the team, he assumes that number one role on the right side right here. I'll probably put someone like Petrie up here with him, and something like that. But Carlson assumes that number one role, and Weber becomes expendable, especially with that 8 years left at 7.855 cap hit. So Weber becomes expendable, and definitely it's desirable to move his contract, as well as the prospect of moving Max Pacioretty, because even though he's doing well in the simulated world, in reality, to fix the franchise, it is likely that he will have to be moved. So in this one, I've done some pre-scouting. I've looked at some teams, and the thing is, I obviously want a number one center, right? But you look at these teams. Ryan Getzlaf, 33 years old, 8.25. I don't want a player like that. Coyotes, Dylan Strome, medium elite potential. I don't know if I want to put all my eggs in his basket at 21 years old. Boston Bruins, Bergeron, 33. I don't want him. Buffalo, Jack Eichel, not going to get him. Calgary, Monahan, not going to be able to get him probably. Although I could get Monahan. But the thing is, look at his simulation. Last season, 14 goals, 42 assists, 56 points. I don't like how he simulates. As you keep going down, whatever. Nikas, there's nobody. Taves, you're not going to get him. Then you go to other teams like Colorado. McKinnon, I really love McKinnon. Not going to get him. So it has to be acknowledged that although I want to keep this series as realistic as possible, to get a number one center for this team, it's going to have to be a trade that probably wouldn't happen in reality. Like, if I want to get, like I was last time, I was actually trying to make a deal for Barzal, and I tried so many different options, but none of them were working. And then it just came to a point that they're not going to trade this guy. But then there are other deals of, quote, untradeable players in the NHL that did go through. So if the system wants to let it go, I'm going to go with the system and do it. And that trade is going to be with the Winnipeg Jets. So I'm looking to acquire here Mark Scheifele, number one center. He's on a good contract, 6.125 for the next 6 years. He has fantastic shooting category stats along with puck skills. He's a playmaker, but he can shoot as well. Great defensive category. Good on those face-offs as a centerman. You don't like those centermen that have like 70 for face-offs. Physical, not bad. He's 6'3". Simulations, he simulate well, decent. 18 goals, 49 assists, 67 points. Put Drouin and Galchenyuk on his wings. I think he could do very, very well on a Montreal Canadiens team. So, before I go into what else I want back with Scheifele, I'm going to look at what I'm going to be trading. So, all skaters. I'm looking to trade Shea Weber along with Max Pacioretty. And I'm also going to throw in, I'm not sure which center I'm going to throw in. Either it's going to be Udon or it's going to be De La Rose. But I'm going to start with those two, just to put them out there. And I want back Scheifele, right off the bat. Now, which center do I move? Because now, if Scheifele goes to first-line center, and if I put Danault third-line center, that means Udon or De La Rose has to be fourth-line center, because I want to make another trade later for a second-line center, because I don't want Udon or De La Rose or Danault playing second-line center. Those are third and fourth guys. So, do I want to trade Udon, 80 overall, 24 years old, De La Rose, 76, 23. I like De La Rose physically and defensively, but Udon does have the higher potential and a higher overall. And how did they simulate last year? Udon had 29 points in 82 games, but this was a bit fake because De La Rose was playing on the first line, because I was trying to make it a bad simulation. Years left. 1 year left for Udon, 1 year left for De La Rose. 1 year younger, 4 overall less. I'm going to move De La Rose since he's also wanted. He matches the trade block. I'm going to move them. Also taking back, so because I will have, let's look at the center depth really quickly so I can just demonstrate here. Go by overall. So right away, Drouin and Galchenyuk do not count, not centers. Scheifele goes number 1, and then I have Danault, and I have Udon, and then see, it doesn't even work because Udon's a third line forward. He's not gonna. Okay, I know exactly what Udon's gonna be part of a deal in another one. Okay, Udon will be part of a deal for a second line center. I will also trade Udon. So De La Rose and Udon will both be traded, but right now I'll be trading De La Rose, and I need a fourth line center back. So what I'm thinking is Roslovic right here, 76 overall, 21 years old, has that low top 6 potential. He's listed as a fourth line forward. He's young. He's pretty good physically as well. Defensively, 3 stars, which is okay for 21 years old. Shooting, it's passable. His puck skills are, like we said, he's a fourth line center, 76 overall. Nothing crazy that pops out, but decent stats. Low top 6 potential. I would love to have him on the fourth line. Also, moving away Weber, and now have a hole defensively. So even if I bring people up in the depth chart, I'm still missing a 6th defenseman, because in the minors, right now, you have Marinson, Valiev. These guys are okay. Valiev, I really like Valiev actually, but he's still listed as a minor top 2. He's 76 overall, not quite there yet. Fleury, Termina. So just someone to fill the hole for this season. I don't know about the next one. I'm looking to bring back Chariot right here. He's 27, defensive defenseman, classic third pair D, 6'3", 5-star physical. So I think I'm going to bring him back. Kulikov, huge contract. Morrissey, I'm not looking to bring in a big piece like that. So I'm going to put Chariot in the deal. And over the league maximum salary cap, what I'm going to do, because Pacioretty only has 1 year left on his deal, I'm going to keep half of his salary just to sweeten the pot for Winnipeg so they can make a big run. So another thing to say that this trade is somewhat realistic, you look at Winnipeg's left wing depth chart. After Kyle Connor, they have nobody. Kyle Connor should be playing the second line. You put Pacioretty on the first line, Connor on the second line, third and fourth, Parot, other people are still not as good, but at least now you have Connor on that second line where he should be. And you have Pacioretty, you have a big defenseman in Weber playing with Byfuglien, De La Rose center depth. So it wouldn't happen in real life, but it's not the craziest thing that could happen in NHL. So just like this right now, I'm not sure if they would accept this. The trade value is definitely in my favor. I'm giving away more, but you see these guys aren't red. Roslovic is red, but the other 2 aren't. They don't want to give them up. Trade rejected. I'm going to throw in, see, I have abundance of picks, and I really don't want to hold on to these picks because I don't want to build through the draft. The Canadiens are a team with an expiring contract on Price and players like Drouin and Galchenyuk hitting their primes. I don't want to be a team that's building through the draft looking to make a push in the mid-2020s. So I'm going to throw in a second here, next year, and this trade is accepted. Mark Scheifele, welcome to the Montreal Canadiens, and I'll be right back with trade number 2. So here's the deal I'm looking to make with Minnesota for a second line center. I'm throwing in Udon, who is 80 overall, 24 years old, really decent player, especially for a third line, 5'10", good shooting, everything like that, along with Andrew Shaw, who I was going to probably have in the minors anyways. Well, good player, I just don't really have room for him, that's the problem. Along with a 2nd and a 5th round picks, I'm trying to move these picks as well. For Charlie Coyle, 84 overall, power forward center, 26 years old, that medium top 6 potential. He's going to finish around there. I don't see him growing any higher than probably an 85. But for the second line, I really like him. Good defensive stats when it comes to the awareness, especially. He's a physical guy, he's big, decent shooting as well. For especially the accuracy and the power are pretty close. 85, 89, 87, 88. Good skater. Decent skater, I'd say. I think even the worst skaters are like in the high 70s, low 80s for skating. So 86, 85 acceleration and speed respectively are pretty decent. So I'm looking to bring him in as the second line center, see what Minnesota is going to say to that for a 2nd and a 5th along with those players. Trade rejected. I'm going to add try and sweeten it just a bit. I will throw in my fourth. Value is not there. This doesn't. I'm not gonna kill myself for this deal because I have another idea of a deal that I might make. I'll make it a second and a third. I'll throw in a fourth, but that's as high as I'm gonna go. So I have another deal. No. Here's what I'm gonna do. Everything I just said about my side remains the same, but what I'm going to do is trade with the team that I was thinking about instead, which is Florida, and bring back Nick Bjugstad right here. Nick Bjugstad. It's crazy how close they are. He's one overall less, but he's same age, same potential, same role, second line power forward. A bit better in the shooting, one slower in skating, one less defensive awareness. So he's almost the same player, 3 inches taller as well. So I wouldn't mind him. I was going with Coyle because of the overall was higher. Plus I liked some stats over Bjugstad's, but now that I think about it even more, good offensive and defensive awareness. His strength is fine. So Bjugstad, I'm happy to go with him actually. So I'll throw in the second and fourth. They can give me back some player they want to dump. I'll take them back, no problem. Go straight to the bottom, and that player will be, hopefully with 1 year left, Holtstrom right here. Holtstrom. All right, he can play. So yeah, he can play minor D. So let's try it. Udon Shaw, a second and a fourth for Bjugstad and Holtstrom. All right, throw in the fifth. This should work with. I think I did a simulation where I had a second and a third that went through, something like that. Let me see. I found a second, third, and a fourth. Ooh. I'm seeing this glitch a lot where it doesn't let you go to the post trade. Give me just one quick second and I'll find what the recipe is. Alright, so here we are. I'm just going to be throwing in an extra third round in 2020. I don't like trading picks that are super down the road, but this is only next season, so I think that's okay. My picks are still, like in this season, I'll have my first, Vancouver second, and then fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Next year I'll have my first, my second, and then fourth, sixth, seventh. So nothing crazy. I'm not giving away all my picks for short-term fixes or anything like that. So I think that is a fair deal. Udon Shaw, second and 2/3 for Bjugstad and Holtstrom, and that is rejected, but I think it's just because of the years of the picks. No, actually, I think it's because it has to be the Vancouver second, yeah. I don't know why the Vancouver has more value because none of the teams have played so far this season, so they should all have equal value. So that should go through, yes, exactly. I'm happy to accept this proposal on behalf of the Florida Panthers. Thank you very much, Nick Bjugstad. Welcome to the Montreal Canadiens, and I will fix up those lines and be back in a minute. So here are the lines for the 2018-2019 season. Jonathan Drouin, who is a center, I'll probably change him to a left wing since he'll no longer be playing center. He is the sniper with that 5-star shooting category, centered by Mark Scheifele, the playmaker, who has that 95 passing, and on the right is Alex Galchenyuk, who is also a center playmaker, but I'll probably change him to a right wing sniper since he has the great shooting category. He still has the 88 passing as well, and see how he does in that role. On the second line, center Nick Bjugstad, also with good 85 passing, power forward, 4.5-star physical. He is alongside Brendan Gallagher, the two-way forward, and Arturi Lehkonen, the sniper. So looking to see how that line will do together. Gallagher had a good simulation, I believe. He had 57 points on the fourth line, or the third or fourth line last year. So he had a really good year. Looking to see more from him. Nikita Scherbak on that third line with his 4.5-star shooting. I'm looking to see a lot from him this year. Looking for good growth. Philip Deneau in the middle, making those passes, 85 passing. Also Paul Byron, a sniper. So two snipers. Scherbak, I'm surprised he's a playmaker with 86 passing, but such a high shooting category. I'll probably change him to a sniper, depending on how that goes. But Deneau is in the middle of them. Byron, looking for a good year from him too. Speedy, third liner. Fourth line, Jack Roslovic is centering Nick Delorier and Kirby Reichel, who I decided to call up from Laval for this season. had a good year in Laval. He scored 64 points, and I think he deserves a shot. Nick Delorier doing great in the real world, great 5-star category, physical, looking 66 discipline, but looking to see if he can do well on that fourth line with those two good players with him as well. On defense, I'm going to have Jeff Petrie up with John Carlson on the first pairing, Juleson and Mete, the future of the defensive core, on that second pair, and Mike Riley, who I really like as well. That top 4D is really looking nice. Good skating, good shooting, good defensive, good fit. He's all around solid defenseman at 80 overall. Looking to see a good season from him. He's alongside Ben Chiara, the defensive defenseman, 5-star physical, looking just to fill in that top 6, round it off. Special teams. First power play, I have Galchenyuk shooting from the left side. Drouin on his shooting side, since he has the higher shooting stats. As well, I'm looking to that on the defensive core for the defense on special teams. John Carlson is on his shooting side. Mike Riley is on his. I don't have many left-handed defensemen, only Riley and Mete. So I'm going to see if the simulation takes that into account, because when I'm playing, I certainly take that into account. Same thing with Gallagher shooting right, he's on the left. Lehkonen shoots left, he's on the right. Petrie, Mete. Penalty kill, Scheifele, great 4.5-star defensive, so keep him in there. Danault, Roslovic, I want him to really develop his defensive stats, so hopefully alongside Danault with 2 defensive defensemen will help him out. Also give him some more ice time out there. Hoping to see good things from him. Carey Price, I haven't talked much about him this franchise mode, but he is staying on the team. He is our elite goalie, 5 stars in all categories, being backed up by Charlie Lindgren this season. And in Laval, lines look like this: Oscar Sundqvist, Ryan Poehling, Michael McCarron. I signed Scott Kosmachuk to a contract to fill out that right wing with so Ikonen can get some growth with Daniel Carr. Will Bitton, Jonas Natanen, Daniel Odette, Antoine Waked, Byron Frazee down on that fourth line, and Yannick Vieillot. Defense, Valiev, Marinson, Fleury, and Bork. I'm looking for a lot of growth from them. They are the 2 defensemen with potential. Termina, Holtstrom, who came over in that deal. And goalies here, Foucault and McNiven. Scratch players, no one big. On D, medium 7th. I might play Henriksen instead of Holtstrom, since, yeah, just for the potential. Gotta get as much growth as we can from these guys. Henriksen, I drafted him, 7th round. Well, I didn't draft him, but he was drafted 7th round. So, see what he can do. And those are the lines for this year. Last thing to do before we begin the season is go to team management and captains and jerseys. With Pacioretty and Weber gone, I'm going to, let me take off the A from Carlson. Let me just clear everything here. Take off all the A's. And I will be giving the A's to Mark Scheifele. The second to Jeff Petrie. And the captaincy to Brendan Gallagher. So those will be the captains for the season. Captain Gallagher, assisted by Petrie and Scheifele. So Gallagher, obviously next in line for the captaincy in Montreal. I believe that he deserves it, and he will hold it. Also, speaking of, just talking about earlier, Mark Scheifele and his $6 million contract, I have lots of cap space right now. I have about $11 million in cap space, and the reason I want to be careful with that cap space and make sure that it stays nice and free is because in the pending free agents, obviously guys like Matthews, Panarin, Sagan, I don't see them going to free agency. But someone like Erik Karlsson, if he should go to free agency, I really want to be able to get in on him. Maybe even Logan Couture as a second line center down. Like, I don't know if he's going to drop when he hits his 30s now. I know in FIFA, as soon as you hit 30, it's downhill from there. So we'll see how these guys look in the offseason. I want to keep cap space nice and free for them. But with that said, I'm going to also go back into the settings, turn injuries back on, which will probably be a killer, but I will have those back on. Injuries are on. Oh, I already did that. Perfect. And also just want to note that trade difficulty was hard. It wasn't easy, not medium. It was hard. So those deals were nothing. No, not swindling Scheifele out of Winnipeg or anything like that. Those are the rules. I just want to check the sliders for injuries, because I know if the sliders are too high for injuries, like just at 10 out of 100, it can really change things. Here, injury occurrence. 50 out of 100. No, no, no. I see YouTubers with 10 out of 100 and they still get too many injuries. I think the recommended is about 8 out of 100, even 7. I'm going to keep it at 8 and see how that goes from there. Thank goodness I checked that, because that would have been devastating. 50 out of 100. Players with broken ribs every game. So with that being said, we can begin the simulation. So I will just save the file up and we will get going on the 2018-19 season. So here we are in the preseason for 2018-19 season. Let's just sim through that quickly. I'm probably going to go up to the trade deadline in this video. Actually, I'm going to stop simulating after the scouting center. I just want to see the stats after the preseason as well. I don't want to sim past the preseason and miss that. So I'll just go to here. 3-1-0 so far. Overtime win against the Leafs. 2-1 against the Red Wings. Salary cap, no problem. And a 3-1 loss to the Bruins. 5-2-0 in the preseason. Very nice. Let's just check those stats, see how the simulation is looking on a preliminary basis. Galchenyuk looks like he has 7 points in 7 games. Galchenyuk 7 points, Gallagher 6, Bjugstad 6, Scheifele 6, Drouin 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points. Danault 5 assists, looking for those assists from him. Rosovic, nice. Everyone looking good. Delorier, not expecting a lot from him, no problem. Great. I just want to, does it show me the whole league even for preseason? Does. Crosby 10 points in 6 games. Sebastian Aho looking great. First line forward. Elias Pettersson in Vancouver looking good. I know it's only 6 games in, but I just want to see if the shooting is correlating. Number of shots correlates to that. Colin White always takes a lot of shots. Colin White, Kreider, Voracek, Drouin. Yeah, a lot of shots correlate to a lot of goals. It's kind of like the hidden stat in NHL. If you watch 2BC, you'll really see that shots have a big effect. Sergachev have a big effect on goal scoring. So with the preseason concluded, we will now move on. This is really tough to navigate. EA Sports. So we will now move on to the regular season. Let's sim through the first month of the season and see how that goes. Players on waivers, no problem. And let's begin with back-to-backs against Toronto. And we take a loss and a win there. Winnipeg 3-1 win, doing well on keeping goals down. Nice 2-0 shutout against the Capitals. Keeping the goals down, very nice. 3-1-0. We let in 4, then we let in 1, then 1. Oh, this is a big deal here. Kevin Shattenkirk and a 4th round pick for 2 firsts, Cale Fleury and a 2nd. 2 firsts, a 2nd, and a prospect for an aging defenseman and a 4th. I will definitely decline that. 4-2 win against the Penguins, another game where we let in 2 goals or less. Amateur Scout says that it will be a good year for rookies. Fantastic. Jack Hughes should be going 1st overall, or top 10 at least, top 5 at least. I made sure to add him into the game. Go check forwards out for a month in the OHL. Paul Stastny for a 1st and a 4th. I'll decline that. I should edit my trading block. So back-to-back losses against the Capitals and the Hurricanes, followed by overtime win, and then another win and another win in that 1 week against Ottawa, Arizona, and Florida, respectively, playing against Bjugstad's old team. And the month finishes off with a 2-0 loss to the Toronto Maple Leafs, which brings us to 7-4-0. I'll just simulate up to this day. 7-4-0 after the first month. Should also check on that trade block. Always want to make sure that I don't want to be getting bad trades all season long. On the block, I don't think there's really anyone to put. Zadina is down in the CHL. Yeah, he's not going to be playing in the AHL, obviously. I don't think there's really anyone to put on this trading block, to be honest. No one that I'm looking to really move out Like, if someone traded me for Will Bidden, I'd probably, if it was a good deal, I'd probably say okay, but I'm not looking to move him per se. So I will not put anyone on the block. And my wants, I will make sure to edit that. I do want firsts and seconds. I don't really want fourth plus as much. And future picks, I'm always open to first, seconds, and thirds as well. And third line checking forward, no, that's good. Second line forward, no, I'm okay. Top 4D, sure, I could take a top 4D. I also take a top 2D because I need to replace Petrie eventually. Top 2D, can I not put more than one thing at D? Yeah, top 2, top 4, and also just say forward, first line forward. I don't want to be getting these trades with, actually, yeah, I'm just going to keep it like that because it's either that or empty. I might as well put first line forwards, say I'm open to them. If people want to send me first line forwards, I'll think about it. I can even put them on the second line if I was a good enough deal. So through 11 games, Jonathan Drouin is leading the team with 12 points. 12 points for him, 10 points for Scheifele, 8 points for Bjugstad. Very nice. Galchenyuk, 1 goal, 7 assists. Really a playmaker. That's surprising, but I'm not going to complain. Carlson looking good. Sherbak with 3 goals. I'm surprised that Mete has no points yet as an offensive defenseman, but it'll come. I also want to look at goaltenders. Carey Price, 11 games, 7-4-0 with 1 shutout. Lindgren, did he come in as relief? Let me just double check that goaltender rotations are back on because I turned those off last year. So give me a quick second. So the auto rotate goalies was off. That's why Price was playing all the games, but not to worry because that wasn't too taxing of a month for games. So I really don't want to risk injury though. So good thing I turned that back on. Claude Giroux leading the NHL, 21 points through 13 games. Defensively, got 3 big defensemen right here: Pietrangelo, Burns, and Gostisbehere. Robbie Fabry, surprising name to see. Marcus Johansson as well. Dylan Larkin too. But that is just the first few games. Also want to recap. I also just want to look at the shots. Ovechkin, most shots, 15 points. Hall, Hoffman, Perry, Kucherov, Tavares, yeah. Sometimes you can find a few gems in there who are taking a lot of shots and getting a decent amount of points with a low overall. But looks like a lot of the big names right now. But that is just through the first month. So let's get another month done. Bring us to the 1st of December. Start off the month with a 5-3 loss to New Jersey, 5-2 win to Philadelphia, who seemed to be a really hot team. I didn't catch their record, though. I didn't see what they were. Big win against Columbus to make a 10-1 win, wow, against Detroit, 3-1 against the Islanders, 5-3 against the Wild, 4-3 shootout against the Canucks, 5-4 overtime against the Sharks. What a month this is turning out to be. Arizona, let me just do this scouting. We'll go to the WHL, forwards for 1 month. Let's see if we can continue the streak. The scouting ruined it. Let me just count this 1 second. Oh, another shutout win. So we start off the month with a loss. Then we get 1, 2, 3. Philadelphia 12 and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins in a row. We take a loss, and then we get another one against Boston. So 8 out of 9. 8 of our last 9 we have won. Fantastic November thus far. Few games left. Colorado 6-15-1. Ryan Poehling for a first. No. 6-0 loss to the struggling Colorado Avalanche. 4-3 shootout loss to the Islanders. A 1-0 shutout of the Flyers. And the month will finish with a 2-1 loss to the Canucks. A bit of a fizzled end of the month there, but we are 16-8-1 through the first 2 months of play. Recap the scoring. Got Galchenyuk at a point per game right now, 25 and 25. And no injuries either, which is great to see. Might put it up to 10, but I'm not really asking for injuries either. Got Galchenyuk 25 points, Scheifele 22, 11 and 11. Nice balance right there. Bjugstad 20 points, exactly what I want to see from him. Gallagher 18, Dano 13. Sherbak I'd expect. Oh, he has 7 goals, yeah. He is a playmaker, but it's surprising that it's such a unbalanced there. Roslovic 4 and 5. Reichel 3 and 4, and Mete only 1 goal still. Let me just, is he taking shots? 48 shots, 2.1 shooting percentage, about almost 2 shots a game. Yeah, can't complain really. He's working out there. Let's check an update on the goalies as well. Yeah, Lindgren 6 games, 4-1-0 with a shutout. Price locking it down, 12-7-1. He was probably him who was in nets for those bit of the struggle at the end of the year, at the end of the month there. But still a 918 save percentage. Goals against average could be a bit better, but not complaining. Price having a good year. And check the league standings here. In the entire league, we are currently in 4th, which is great to see. And in our division, we are 3rd. It's a tough division, but we are not in a wild card. We have our spot, so we can just leapfrog over Toronto and Ottawa. That would be fantastic. Still a lot of hockey left to play, so let's get through December. Move on to the All-Star break. So we will go up to the 1st of January. Columbus 14-10-0. We win 4-3. Rangers, we beat them 6-1, which is great. Paling for 2 seconds. No, thank you. Chicago, we take them down 6-0. Another nice shutout. 2-1 shootout win against Dallas. 4-3 win against Florida. Then our winning streak comes to an end against Colorado. Dylan for a 2nd and a 4th. He's the top 4D potential. But I think he's old, no? Yeah, he's 28. No, Brendan Dillon. Good defenseman, but not what I'm going to move a 2nd and a 4th for, especially right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've won 6 of our last 7 with a 3-1 win against Dallas. Scouting assignment. Ooh, where is there a lot of players? 67 here. We'll go for 3 weeks over here. The SHL. LA, we lose 5-4. Calgary, 2-1 in the shootout. Nashville, Tampa Bay, two tough teams. We win one and have a shootout loss in the other, respectively. Calgary, 2/3 for a 2nd, a 5th, and a prospect who I will not likely use. Not worth it. Pittsburgh, 17-16-2. We will beat them 3-2. Ottawa, we lose 3-1, and that is it for December. We are 24-11-3. Actually, let's just push to the All-Star break. Where is the All-Star break? Doesn't usually there's a little green thing over it, no? Like red right here for the trade deadline. No little green thing for the All-Star break. That's surprising, unless I'm missing something. So it should be around here. So let's just go with the All-Star break, and then we'll recap. 2-1 win against the Predators. Shootout loss against the Sabres. Overtime win against the Panthers. A lot of these overtime and shootouts that we're coming to. Let's check out the defensemen in the WHL for a few weeks. I try to get everything kind of balanced in my scouting. Couple wins there. Another win against the Oilers. Yeah, my scouting, I try to keep things balanced because if you do like 6 weeks here, 6 weeks there, it's tough to uncover people. I find that instead of going 6 weeks in the queue, for example, if you do 4 weeks, you'll have just the same results and you'll have more time left over for other regions. So through 44 games, we are atop the Atlantic Division with 62 points. The Leafs are below us. Bruins are a bit further down. And Mark Scheifele, 46 points in 44 games, having a fantastic campaign so far. Scheifele followed by Galchenyuk, Drouin. That first line is really getting things done. I was going to change them to the wingers, but maybe I'll just keep them as centers for now, even though they're on the wing. Bjugstad, very nice, 34 points. Gallagher, 33. Carlson, as a defenseman, fantastic, 33 points in 44 games. Sherbak, 20 points. Roslovic. Juleson, 6 goals. Mete, 3 goals, 2 assists. He's picked it up in the last month. And goaltenders. Carey Price, 23-9-3, 927 save percentage, 220 goals against average. Really got that back down. Fantastic to see. 3 shutouts. Lindgren 6-2-1 with 1 shutout. I just want to see Minnesota's forwards here. How's Charlie Coyle doing? Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, I'm happy with Bjugstad though. I'm really happy with Bjugstad. And let's check the whole league. Ovi leads the league, 61 points in 45 games. Big congrats to Ovi, raising the cup tonight in the real world time. Fantastic to see that from him. Patrick Laine, also with 49 points. Speaking of good snipers, but 39 goals. Wow, season's barely half over. He's already at 40 goals. Fantastic. Anthony Manta, that's surprising to see him so far up. Good to see that. Shifley's there. Josh Bailey, wow, 87 overall. All right, and AHL, quickly check that. Forsbacka Carlson, 31 goals. Yeah, always see him in simulations doing very well, and he always takes lots of shots as well. Hemsky, where did he end up going to? He went to the Marlies, huh? Marlies. And let's just check our team. How are we doing in Laval? Kamaschuk, Kosmachuk leading the way. Natanen not having quite an 86-point year like last year. Paling, 29 points. It's okay. McCarron, Carr. Yeah, I'd want to see a lot more, to be honest, from Laval. I really want to see a lot of growth. Oh, McNiven, 1-5 with 863 save percentage, 392 goals against. Well, I'm not going to move him out, though. I'm just going to keep him there for now. No problems with that. I'm not going to touch the power play, the penalty kill, anything like that on the Canadiens, because I'm happy with that. Laval, if they have a winning record, but I will keep that in mind for the future. We are almost at the trade deadline. I will bring us to the 1st of February just to get us there. Roslovic for a second, no. LA, we lose 2-1. St. Louis, John Moore, no. 8-3 win over St. Louis, big 8-3 win there. Lost 5-3 against the Wild, 5-3 again against the Hurricanes. And Scout, we will send him to the States for 3 weeks. Rangers, 3-0 loss. We haven't been shut out much with it, which is good. A 3-1 loss against the Red Wings. We really need to pick that up there. I'm going to bring us to the deadline. I'm going to bring us to the 25th, and then consider simulating that game on the 26th as well. Fleury, oh, no, I'm not going to move Roslovic. Anaheim 20, 29, and 4. We lose 4-1 against them. We've lost 3 of our last 4. I should have looked at that trade, but it's always the same thing. Nick Shore on waivers. He's making 1.485 for 1 more year. If I took him, I would just put him on waivers myself and put him in the minors. But Laval could use the help, actually, now that I think about it. So, you know what? I will claim him just because Laval needs it. So I will put him down in Laval to try and give them a little boost. How are they doing? They are 28, 21, and 6. Can't really complain, actually. There's a lot. It's better than I thought it was. Go to roster moves, bring him down, if he doesn't get claimed, that is. Is he already automatically in the system? Oh, he's already in there. Fantastic. Go to edit lines. And I'm just going to put him on the 4th line. Actually, I don't want to change up all my power plays and everything, so I'm just going to replace Frazee with Shore right there. And I think he's going to be, yeah. He's somewhere in there. Doesn't really matter. Just want to give Laval a little bit of a boost with a 78 overall player. And we will continue simulating up to the deadline. We are 32, 17, and 4. Looking good. Vegas, we shut them out 3-0. Spurgeon for a 1st and a 2nd. I will decline that, although that is a nicely formulated deal. 6-1 win against Anaheim. Struggling Oilers, 4-1 win. The Blackhawks are coming up after this scouting assignment. We'll send you to the OHL for defensemen. Chicago 3-2 win. Boston, we win 3-2 in the shootout. Derek Englund on waivers. He is 35, 36. No, I will keep. I don't want to take him away from Vegas. He's the Vegas boy. Roslovic, 1st and a 2nd for Skinner. I will pass on that as well. Interesting deal, though. That was a nice one as well. 4-2 win against the Hurricanes. And I will Paling for a 1st and a 2nd. I will decline that. Paling's the future 2nd, 3rd line center. 3-2 win against the Stanley Cup champion Washington Capitals. That leaves us at 39, 17, and 4. I will simulate this game. I just want to be careful because I don't want to simulate to the 27th and it says the trade deadline is over or whatever. So I'm just going to edit my surplus here as well. I'm just going to I don't have a surplus of these guys. I don't want to move those players. But I don't mind moving later picks. Oh, I don't really want to move my first. My current first I don't want to move. So I will keep Concerning that. Players to put on the block, I don't really have anyone. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Byron, but I don't want to mess the chemistry up, and he's playing well. As well. 4 goals, 20 assists as a sniper. I didn't see that. I saw the points. 4 goals, that's it. Paulie. You just got put on the block, my friend. Probably won't move him, but 4 goals. Maybe getting put on the block will put a little fire under him. So I finish off this simulation period. I will just simulate this game in real time. I'm interested in watching it. Plus, I don't want to simulate over any days or anything like that. So I'm just going to watch that. Look at the goals. Boston power play. So I'm just going to sim through... Oh, Scheifele on Kudobin. Fantastic. I'm just going to sim through the periods. Donato on Price. Second period, goal apiece. Pasternak, Danault. And third period, power play. Long power play. Drouin on Kudobin. Fantastic. And... we'll just... Oh, Wingles on Price. I will not finish the game. I'll keep watching. Komarov on Price. 4 goals on 20 shots. Leo Komarov on the Bruins. Him and Marchand must be getting along. 2 minutes. Oh, Galchenyuk with a clutch goal with 2:19 left to tie it up. Brings it into overtime. In overtime... nothing. Off to a shootout, and the Bruins take it. Marchand gets the winner. We come out with a point. 3 stars. Scheifele goal and 2 assists. His #1 star. So, the trade deadline is now upon us with that shootout loss. I just want to make sure that trades can still be made. Yeah, fantastic. So, coming into the trade deadline now, let's just look at what our team is and the suggestions that may be made into next game. So, we are currently on top of the Atlantic Division with 83 points. We are 6 points clear of the Sabres, 7 points clear of the Maple Leafs and Bruins, but that is only 7 points clear of a wild card spot. So we want to keep up the dominance. In the league, we are second, only to Nashville, which is great to see. Power play percentage, sorry, that's point percentage. Actually, before I get the power play percentage, goals for 189, which puts us in the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exactly. Goals, that's goals for. Goals for per game, we are second. Goals against per game, we are third, which is great to see as well. So the defense is doing well. Power play goals, we are second with that as well. Power play percentage, second in that as well. Great to see. Power play goals against, can I just look at penalty? Yeah, penalty kill percentage. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th with 83.1%. So I really don't have anything to complain about. Nothing to really say we need to update this or fix that. I'm really impressed with this team, and I will likely continue simulating without making a trade unless there are any really good suggestions. Scheifele, point per game right now, 30 goals, 61 points in 61 games. Galchenyuk right behind him with 58. Joey 54. Carlson, really great surprise to see him with so many points, 6 and 42 so far. Bjugstad, fantastic. Couldn't ask more from him, really, to be honest, as a second-line center power forward. Gallagher, 20 goals already, which is nice to see. Sherbak picking it up, 16 and 16. He's up to an 82 overall. Danault on the third line. Byron, I'm really not happy with only 4 goals as a sniper. Last season he simulated 15 goals. I don't know. Does he have the stats of a sniper? 84, 85. He has decent accuracy, 4 stars. Roslovic, 8 and 7. I would want to see a bit more from him, but at the same time, 76 overall. He's only on the 4th line. Only gets 11.52 per game. Delorier, Petrie, and Mete at the bottom. Only a goal and 4 goals and 2 assists. I don't know. I'd like to see more from Mete as well. Riley, I'm happy because Riley, a two-way defender, 4 goals, 4 assists. Mete, he's an offensive defenseman. He's on the power play as well. He has two of his 4 goals are on the power play. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I would like to see more from Mete, especially in assist-wise. Mete, he's playing on the second pair. And he's on the second defensive pair and the second power play unit. And, you have Carlson with 42 assists and him with only 2. So I'm not asking for 40, but I'm looking for, maybe 15 or something like that. Goaltenders, Price is looking good, 32, 15, and 4 with a .924 save percentage and 4 shutouts, 2.28 goals against average. Lindgren as well, 7, 2, and 1 with a shutout. Couldn't ask for much more from a backup. He's doing very well. Forgot to check Laval as well. I don't know if Laval... I think they picked it up. I saw on the record. Yeah, Natanen looking good. 51 points in 62 games. Paling as well. I'm happy to see him growing. I believe he's still a 73, but those points will definitely have an effect on him. Kosmachuk, Sundqvist, Carr, McCarron not having quite as good as the years last year when he got 31 goals, but he's on that first line. Ikonen, I think he grew from a 63 to a 65, not totally sure. Simon Bork, 66, he's still there. Henriksen up to a 63. Fleury up to a 69, good to see. And Fukale, 29, 19, and 6. I'm looking for, I want him to compete with Lindgren for that backup spot because he was drafted quite high at 36th overall in 2013. He's even listed as a backup, so he could play backup, but I want to see a really good season from him in Laval if he's going to get that spot. So I believe that is it for this one. I will also just quickly check the league standings of points as I do my outro. But I think that is it for this team actually in terms of what needs to be done because we're really flying through the calendar quite nicely. No injuries, which is great, but might be my fault because of the sliders. I will consider putting those up a bit more, but nothing really that stands out like power play, penalty kill, goaltending. I'd like a bit more from the third line maybe, but I could trade Byron perhaps for a better third liner along with a draft pick. That would be interesting. For example, if I were to do that, you look at the left wings. You don't want anyone too crazy, but like Aho's an 85 overall. You can put him second line and move down Lehkonen possibly. Max Pacioretty over on Winnipeg doing well. Nice to see him doing well. Nemestikov, you see a guy like Nemestikov, 83 overall. Put him on the third line. He's doing well. Palat, Kachuk, Kevin Fiala even. Fiala would be an interesting piece. Sven Bertzi, Jake DeBrusk. A lot of guys like this who would be an interesting fit just for maybe just for the end of the season for a cup run. So let me know your thoughts on that. If there's anything else that you see that needs to be fixed that I'm missing, and give me your thoughts on that third line. What should be done there? So guys like JT Miller, getting a lot of shots, that's really the hidden stat here. Daniel Sedin, go out with a cup maybe if I can try and get him. Who knows? All skaters and shots. You have Ovi, obviously. Baxter, McDavid. Yeah, Ovi, big year for him. 54 goals in 63 games. Another thing to quickly look at, in addition to the point standings and the shot stats and all that at players that we could acquire, are the trading blocks. So sometimes you find a few gems in here of players that you can't believe are being traded. Corey Perry, Kessler, Silverberg, I don't know if those are really players that we'd want to add. Just going to quickly go through here. If you see anyone that really gets your attention, you can let me know and I will consider acquiring that player. Enstrom, no. Mostly draft picks that are on here. Colin Wilson, Radim Verbata, Matt Calvert, Cronwall, Stuart Skinner, Eric Stahl. You're mostly looking for players who have 1 year left on those contracts. So a guy like Eric Stahl would be nice, but our center core is full. Brady Shea, that's an interesting one. High trade value though, that would be tough. Jimmy Vesey, a left wing. He has 3 years left. How's he look though this year? Jimmy Vesey, 20 goals, 19 assists. So that would be interesting. 39 points. That would be an interesting move. Jimmy Vesey maybe. Chris Weidman, Matt Reed, Matt Raffle, Carter Hutton, Radish, Sam Gagne, UC Jokinen, Peary here. So only a 77 overall, but I don't know. I like the stats last year. This year, still looking okay though. Oh, it's in the AHL. No, forget that. Forget Peary. Lemire, and that is it for the trading block. So the only guy I see on the block that piques my interest is Jimmy Vesey, but aside from that, there are the other left wings as well. But that'll be it for this one. Thank you for watching this episode, and in the next episode, I will be simulating through the trade deadline going to the end of this season, and likely simulating the first round of playoffs as well, barring a major collapse. And in the playoffs, I'll be going much slower, looking at line matchups, simulating each game individually, looking a lot more in-depth at the series itself. So that'll be in the next one. Let me know your thoughts about the deadline, any moves you might want to make considering the third line, or any other ideas that you have. I really love listening to any and all ideas considering the team. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.